Are you looking to move to the Oregon coast and you're curious about South Beach? Well, let's go over it. So my name's Samantha. I am a realtor along the Oregon coast and I work in Lincoln County. And I'm trying just to do a little more research each week into a whole bunch of things, but neighborhoods are one. I want to learn what the average sale price is, what the average age of homeowners, what average age of the home is in these kind of areas. So I'm just curious, and today I'm going to go over South Beach. Now, fair warning, this is not a rehearsed video. I'm just going to be looking at my notes and saying what comes to my mind, which is never smart, but I'm going to do it. So a couple interesting facts that I saw was the average sale price at its highest for South Beach was 2019, and that was $507,000. Interesting. In 2024, the average sale price was $397,000. It was just over $397,000. The minimum sale price was $220,000, and the max sale price was $483,000, which is quite interesting. This has just got to be residential, but so not land. But South Beach is a pretty coveted area, and it's got one of the most fanciest HOA and subdivisions in there, and I'm kind of surprised it's not higher, but it is what it is. Also what was interesting is 47% of the owners in South Beach live in Oregon, but they are not owner occupied. So that could be a second home, a short-term rental, or I would assume that more of it would be a second home, but that's kind of interesting. Just after that was 43%, which was owner occupied, which that's quite an interesting statistic too. Only 10% were out of state owners, so interesting. The other interesting thing I found was the average length of residence how long someone lived at their home in South Beach was 6 to 10 years. That was the highest. That was 22%, which is kind of interesting. Most people own their homes for a little longer for probably last 10 years, people just hold on to their homes. But I found that quite interesting. But the next kind of highest was 2 to 4 years. And I think that's more maybe, I'm curious if that has to do with COVID, or if it has to do with kind of just how things have gone up and down lately. I'm kind of curious. The highest amount, the age of homes, which was interesting, the highest amount was 42% of an age of 30 plus. So their home was worth, almost half the homes are 30 years or older, which is quite interesting. The next one was 15 to 20 years at 24%, and 18% was 10 to 15 years. So interesting. Not a lot of new building in South Beach, which it's a coveted area. That makes sense to me. Anyways, the next interesting thing that I was seeing was the assessed values. Was 56% of the homes there have an assessed value of $151,000 to $300,000, which is interesting because that's lower than the average sale price. I assume that's because if you own a home and you get your county records, which I'm curious if that has to be. I assume that's what that's based off of. That's never what the home is actually worth. So, it's usually just it's usually low. So that makes sense. The average assessed value was $258,000, almost $259,000. Kind of interesting. So, interesting. I'm curious what the average age for South Beach is, but I'll do a video on that soon. So if you have any questions or looking to move along the Oregon coast, give me a call.